大家好 Welcome back to Edupedia World Videos. We are now at lesson 7.1, where we'll continue on the conversation that happened during the previous lesson. So the lesson outline is pretty straightforward. It's the continued dialogue between Jane and taxi driver. So Jane in previous lesson was making a request to the taxi driver. Now in this lesson she has further requests, so let's see how she says it in Mandarin. So again, the title is still Jane takes a taxi, 简搭出租车. And Jane, after saying that she has something urgent, then she continued to ask about the fare. So in English she asks, how is the fare determined? 简问车费怎么算? The driver answers $1.20 per kilometer. 司机说1公里1块2. Jane has some other requests. She asks, I'll have to rush back. Can you wait a moment? 简问我还要赶回来，您能不能等一会儿? So let's see how the driver answers. The driver says, of course. 司机说可以. So Jane had further questions on that. She asks, how is the waiting fee determined? 简问等候费怎么算? The driver answers $1.20 every 5 minutes. 司机说5分钟1块2. So that's the end of the conversation. Let's look at the individual sentence and learn new vocabulary and grammar structure. So if you can remember, Jane asks, how is the fare determined? 车费怎么算? So the first new word is 费. 费 means fare, and of course when it's combined with other words it has different meaning, but in this context it means fare. This is the pinyin 费, and the radical is this one, so the arrangement is vertical as you have top and bottom component. Okay, let's look at how to write 费. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. 9 strokes for this word, 费. The next one is 算. 算 means count. So this is a pinyin and the radical is what's on top there. The arrangement is vertical as you have top, middle and bottom component. Okay, let's look at how to write 算. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. 15 strokes for this word, 算. Okay, so when you say 车费怎么算, in direct translation it is fare, how to count. So let me decipher it for you. 车费 is the fare for the taxi. Okay, so 车费 is specifically the fare for the taxi. Because the person is in a taxi, so it is understood that this person, Jane, is asking about the fare for the taxi. Okay, 怎么 is how, 算 is count. So the meaning of count there is to ask, how do you count the fare? Okay, it is more like, how do you determine the fare? Okay, how do you come up with the fare? But in Mandarin, we say 算 as you are counting numbers, as you are determining the fare. So 怎么 is how. So it is placed in front of the verb to ask like how you count the fare. Okay, just like how to go somewhere, you ask 怎么去. Okay, so this grammar structure is pretty similar to that. Okay, so in the end, 车费怎么算 is asking, how do you determine the fare? Okay, let's look at the driver's answer. He answers $1.20 per kilometer. 1公里1块2. Okay, so 1公里 is 1 kilometer, and 1块2, you should be very familiar with this already. It means $1.20. Okay, so previously we have learned 5块钱 as $5. Okay, in this context, we are also using a very informal way of speaking about amount of money. So to say 1块 is $1, which is like $1. And then if you add any number behind it without indicating the word mao, it means the tens of cents without the word mao over there, which is to say tens of cents. It automatically says that it is tens of cents. Okay, so that's why in English it is $1.20. Okay, per kilometer is denoted by 1公里. So it is very similar to how you ask per kilogram. It is to say 1 kilogram is how much. And in this context as well, as you are saying for 1 kilometers, it's $1.20. Okay, but in English, we always use the word per. So that's why I wrote there $1.20 per kilometer. Next, Jane has another request. She asks, I'll have to rush back. Can you wait a moment? 我还要赶回来，您能不能等一会儿? Okay, a few new words here, so let's look at them. So the first one is 回. 回 is to mean return. Okay, return from somewhere or return something to someone. We also use this word. Okay, this is the pinyin 回, and the radical is this one. So the arrangement is enclosure because the radical is like wrapping another radical here. Okay, so let's look at how to write 回. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, 6 strokes for this word 回. And the next one is 能. 能 means can. So it's like saying that the capability of someone to do something. Okay, this is the pinyin 能, and the radical is this one, what's on the bottom left here. The arrangement is horizontal because you have left and right component, but as you can see for both left and right component, it also has top and bottom components. Okay, let's look at how to write 能. 1 2 3 4 5、6、7、8、9、10. 10 strokes for this word, 能. Okay, to say 我还要赶回来, in direct translation, it's I still want to rush back. So let me just decipher the first part of the sentence here. So 我还要 means I still want to do something. Okay, let's look at 回来 first. 回来 means to return or to go back. Okay, so to say 赶回来, it means to rush back. Okay, to rush to return. Okay, so the whole sentence 我还要赶回来, it is I still want to rush back, which in another word in English is I will have to rush back. Okay, 您能不能等一会儿? Okay, is asking, can you wait a moment? Okay, 您 again indicating you in a respecting and polite manner. 能不能 is to indicate that this sentence is a yes or no question. So 能不能 is like, can you do something? Okay, are you capable of doing something? Okay, and of course for this one you can also use 可以, which also means can. So in other words, if you want to say this sentence, you can say 您可不可以等一会儿? And then 等, as you have learned in the previous lesson, it means to wait. And 一会儿, I know it sounds new to you, but 一会儿 means a moment. Okay, so 会 not only used in will, but when it's combined with other words like 一会儿, it means a moment. Okay, so the whole sentence 您能不能等一会儿 shouldn't be that difficult. It just means, can you wait a moment? So let's see what the driver answers. He says, of course, 可以. Okay, 可以 also means can. Okay, but of course in English we wouldn't answer people with just can. So that's why I put that, of course. Okay, so it also reflects that 可以 can replace 能 in the previous sentence. Okay, and Jane has another request. She asks, how is the waiting fee determined? 等候费怎么算? So it is very similar to how we decipher the previous sentence. Okay, it is like 车费怎么算? Okay, so no new words here, but new usage. Okay, so 等候 means wait. Okay, you have learned that 候, it is used with time, 时候. Okay, so wait, 等候 is like wait for some time. But in the end, 等候 just means wait. Okay, 费, as you remember, it means fare, but it can also use as fee. And then 怎么算, as you have learned, is like how to count, how to determine. Okay, so 等候费怎么算 is to say the waiting fee, how to count, or how to determine. In other words, it is how is the waiting fee determined. Okay, So let's see how the driver answers. He says $1.20 every 5 minutes. 5分钟1块2. Okay, so similar amount. So 5分钟 is 5 minutes and 1块2 is $1.20. So as you can see, we are talking about 5 minutes. So the way we say it's like for 5 minutes is $1.20. But in English, it is the other way around. We say $1.20 every 5 minutes. Okay, so that's the end of the lesson. Okay, we have discussed a lot of sentence, but these are all the Chinese words that I've covered, because you have already learned many other words. Okay, but these words are really commonly used words, so you have learned fair or fee, and other verbs such as count, return, and can, as in capability. And of course, on top of that, you have learned many other variations of the words that you have used. They have many other usage and meanings when it's combined with other words and in different contexts. Okay, so that's the end of our lesson. Next up, for this lesson, we don't have supplementary exercises, but we'll move on to the next topic. Okay, we are going to talk about another conversation revolving family. Okay, but it will be revolving a conversation which is different from what we had covered in the previous lessons. Okay, so thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next lesson. 谢谢，再见。